Hi, I'm Keisha Young.
And I'm Will Mungo. Welcome to the Monday Night Roar.
Thanks for tuning in. We have your latest news, entertainment, and sports.
All that and more coming up on the Monday Night Roar. Fellow students, you've probably been flooded with emails recently asking you to take a survey or two. These surveys are important. The surveys assist Clemson's faculty in their effort to make Clemson University a fun, effective, and best possible environment for students. Please take some time to fill out these surveys and help make Clemson University a better place.
8 Clemson undergrad students came out victorious at the annual Southern Agricultural Economics Association Undergraduate Quiz Bowl. In this competition, 2 teams of 3 students answered questions Jeopardy style. Each round is 15 minutes, and all the questions pertain to material undergraduates learn in their required courses, along with a few common knowledge questions. The Clemson team took down 120 students and 9 colleges. Junior agriculture major Carl Womble came in first place. Zachary Sharp and Cody White finished 3rd and 4th. Good job, Tigers.
Don't you sometimes envy those guys you see riding around on bikes around campus? You know you do. If so, I have some good news for you. Early in February, our own Student Senate generously donated money to fund a bike share program. This service will allow students to visit one of the 5 to 8 stations on campus to simply borrow a bike to use around campus. All that is required is a student ID, and when it is entered, the station will release the bike for no charge for a certain amount of time. So thank you, Student Senate, for your generous contribution.
Best College Reviews ranks Clemson's Student Organic Farm among the best farms in the nation, coming in at number 9 out of the nation's university farms. Clemson beat out Yale, Duke, and the University of New Hampshire. The farms are ranked based on their community integration, student use, and aid in teaching, and size. The review gave praise to the high level of student involvement, ranging from farm labor to marketing. Those involved with Clemson's farm stressed the connection between students and staff. Entomology professor and Clemson Sustainable Agriculture Program Director Jeff Zender says the overall goal of Clemson's farm seeks to spark the imaginations of the next generation of farmers.
If you're looking for more ways to get involved at Clemson University, look no further than the LEAD program. LEAD stands for Leadership, Education, Action, and Development. You can attend their ethics workshop tomorrow from 7 to 8 in the Stadium Suites classroom, where the members of LEAD will discuss how to be an ethical leader in life. LEAD is also hosting a workshop on Thursday from 5 to 6 in the Norris Hall Conference Room, where participants will learn how to identify and understand the stages of group development. This sounds like it would be helpful for people struggling in group projects. For information on how to register for these workshops and other ways to get involved, visit Clemson's Campus Life Leadership Education page, where you will find a link to Tigers Lead, which is sponsored by the Gantt Center for Student Life.
Earlier last week, Clemson honored Ratan Tata, Chairman Emeritus of Tata Motors, with an honorary doctorate of automotive engineering. Tata, who was the chairman of many of the major Tata companies, caused the group's revenue to dramatically increase to well over $100 billion during his tenure back in 2011. This was Clemson's first time presenting an honorary degree outside of commencement. President Clements called Tata a global leader whose impact reaches far beyond the borders of India, as well as a good role model for Clemson students.
For those of you graduating in May or August, you can get your Class of 2015 t-shirts now. They feature a rendering of graduation caps flying in front of Tillman Hall behind the words Class of 2015. The shirts are designed and printed by our own Tigertown Graphics and can be ordered online. You can make your order by visiting the link bit.ly/CU2015 shirt. Get your shirts and represent us here at Clemson University when you venture out into the real world. And now, here's Gabby Bates with your sports.
The Clemson men's baseball team faced their state rival, the South Carolina Gamecocks, in a weekend-long tournament. The Tigers started off right with a 11-4 win on Saturday against the Gamecocks. The Tigers scored 4 runs in the first inning, giving them the lead for the entire game. The Tigers were able to double the lead in the third inning with 4 runs due to a 3-run homer by Chris Oakey, followed by a solo home run from Weston Wilson. The Gamecocks were able to force a comeback by getting 3 runs in the 4th inning, but the Tigers were able to score again, giving them the win on Friday. The Tigers Tigers went on to face the Gamecocks in Greenville, but fell 4-1 to the Gamecocks. The Tigers started out with a 1-0 lead, but the Gamecocks were able to come back with 3 runs in the second inning and 1 in the third. The Tigers faced the Gamecocks today, winning 7-0, sweeping the tournament. The Clemson men's basketball team faced Georgia Tech this past Saturday in Littlejohn. The Tigers defeated the Yellow Jackets 70-63 in overtime. The two seniors who celebrated senior night, Rod Hall and DeMarcus Harrison, were both able to score 15 points apiece in their win against Georgia Tech. The Tigers were leading by 23 at half, but the Yellow Jackets were able to force a comeback that sent the team into overtime. Jerron Blossomgame was the top scorer for the Tigers with 19 points. The Tigers are now 16-12 and 8-8 in the ACC. They will go on to face NC State Wolfpack tomorrow at 9 p.m. This will be the final ACC game in this facility. The facility is planning to go under major construction this spring. The Clemson women's track team was able to get their 5th ACC Indoor Conference Championship in the last 6 seasons. The team compiled 102 total team points to defeat Florida State and Notre Dame. Well, it was an exciting night for UFC's Ronda Rousey as she faced Kat Zingano and defeated her in 14 seconds, the fastest victory in UFC title fight. Rousey submitted Zingano in a straight arm lock just 14 seconds into their fight. This gave Rousey her 5th UFC title defense. Well, it was a big upset for number 3 Gonzaga as BYU upsets them, ending their 41-game home winning streak. Something to consider before filling out your brackets for March Madness. That's all I have for your sports. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, Gabby. A University of Texas fraternity will not be punished for throwing a Border Patrol-themed party. Members of the Phi Gamma Delta frat reportedly wore sombreros, ponchos, and construction gear. The fraternity's president, Andrew Campbell, claims the party was meant to have a Western theme and got taken out of context by the partygoers. Because the event took place off campus, the Dean of Students claims that no rules were broken. Students on the campus are disappointed in the university's lack of action. Sophomore Diana Padilla says, "How can minorities hope to feel respected in an institution of higher learning when things like this go unpunished? Such a big letdown by a school I love so much." A letter of concern was written by Latino Community Affairs, and as of now it has over 400 signatures of support.
A teenager in Massachusetts is facing a hearing in April for involuntary manslaughter charges. The teenager in question, Michelle Carter, was indicted on February 5th for persuading her boyfriend, Conrad Roy, to take his own life. The incident happened last July when Roy took his own life due to carbon monoxide poisoning within his own car. In a conversation between Roy and Carter, Roy told Carter that he was having second thoughts on taking his life when Carter responded by telling him to, quote, get back in the car. Carter was indicted as a youth due to the fact that she was not yet 18.
Erskine University recently adopted a policy that bans homosexual behavior on the campus. Many believe the ban is a response to Drew Davis and Juan Verano, 2 male volleyball players, coming out of the university last year. The college's statement on human sexuality was approved by both the college's Board of Trustees and Student Services and Athletic Committee. Many students have taken to Twitter to show their outrage, which prompted the university's official Twitter page to have online disputes with people opposed to the ban. It is not clear how this new ban will affect student life.
A NASCAR Sprint Cup car was stolen this past Friday and later found in Georgia the day before the big race. The car was not, however, found in enough time to qualify for the race. The thief towed the car behind a pickup truck and was found later in Morrow, Georgia. This theft forced the owners of the car to withdraw from the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500, which would have been the first Sprint Cup start of the season for the team. The number 44 car was returned to the team's shop in Mooresville, North Carolina on Saturday, where it will be given a thorough inspection.
After working for 5 months to find American fugitive pastor Victor Arden Bernard, Brazilian police finally arrested him on Friday at his home in a gated community. Bernard is being accused of 59 counts of sexual assault on 2 young girls in Minnesota. The young girls were members of his church. Bernard was previously featured on the U.S. Marshal's Top 15 Most Wanted list, along with a $25,000 reward for any information on his whereabouts. He is currently waiting to be extradited back to the U.S. And now here's Sean Oliver with entertainment and Freddie with Showtimes.
Did you think it was cold here last weekend in Clemson? Well, it was, but not as cold as this year's polar plunge. Lady Gaga and her fiancé Taylor Kinney took the plunge in order to raise money for the Special Olympics. Over 4,500 people showed up for the event, raising $1.1 million for the charity. Vince Vaughn also jumped into the freezing cold water. The organizers of the event said they could not be happier with the turnout this year. Dakota Johnson hosted this weekend's SNL and did not choke at all. Johnson is receiving rave reviews from critics over this weekend's performance. Her mother, the legendary Melanie Griffin, tweeted her praises for her daughter's performance on this comedy sketch show. It was also revealed this week that both Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan would be whipping back into shape for the sequel of 50 Shades of Grey. In rap news, Kanye West revealed the name of his new album titled So Help Me God. The rapper claims the album is about 80% done, but has not confirmed a release date. West says the album will drop in a surprise fashion, like Beyoncé's most recent album. In more rap news, Ludacris is expecting his third child with his wife. They posted a picture on Instagram with the caption, "Beautiful day on the beach." The couple got married over the holidays, and recently the rapper was awarded full custody of his other two children from a former relationship. Neither the sex nor the name of the baby has been revealed. Are you interested in seeing an incredible movie? Well, then you need to go see Focus, starring Will Smith and Margot Robbie. The film has everything: love, sex, comedy, and a hilarious Hawaiian guy. And apparently I wasn't the only one who loved the film, because it was this weekend's box office hit, earning $19.1 million. Now Freddie has more news about this weekend's movies that you need to watch.
Thanks, John Oliver. Hello, and welcome back to Showtimes. We provide you with all the important movie news from the couch to the theater. We cover movies coming to Redbox theaters, Netflix, and Amazon Prime. This week, Redbox is having another awesome week with some impressive titles. Oscar-nominated Foxcatcher will be available this week. Also available is The Hunger Games: Mockingjay, Part 1, if an action movie is more your speed. And if you prefer something scarier, in case you missed it last month here on Tigervision, you can find Ouija in your nearest Redbox. Another week, another unimpressive Netflix and Amazon lineup, but sometimes they sneak movies in, so check them out just in case. In theaters this week, from the director of District 9 and Elysium, you can find the interesting-looking Chappie. If you prefer a comedy, especially one that loves to make stupid jokes, you can find Vince Vaughn and Dave Franco in Unfinished Business this Thursday. Already out, Will Smith plays across Margot Robbie from Wolf of Wall Street in Focus. Also out, if you prefer horror films, you can find the out-of-season The Lazarus Effect. Finally, if you love stupid comedies, Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is your pick. Thank you for tuning in, and watch next week for more updates. Back to you guys.
Thanks, guys. 3 teenage British girls who are suspected of traveling to Syria to join ISIS were caught on surveillance video in Turkey. The girls are seen boarding a bus in Istanbul. The girls, who are all classmates, have been missing for approximately 3 weeks. Many believe the girls are trying to follow the lead of Aqsa Mahmoud, a young woman who left her home in Scotland in 2013 to move to Syria to become a part of ISIS. Mahmoud has reportedly been trying to recruit other people via social media. The girls' parents have been using the media to beg the girls to return home.
Yesterday, ISIS shockingly released 19 Christian prisoners, and everyone is wondering why. Some speculation suggests that they simply made this decision to surprise ISIS's enemies in order to obtain some sort of credibility by following rules. Others think that it could be the prisoners' association with Christianity is the answer, and that the Sunni tribal leaders who negotiated their release are to thank. There is still, however, one more Christian still remaining in ISIS's custody, and his fate is, as of yet, unknown.
Researchers have discovered a 1,000-year-old mummified monk inside a golden statue of Buddha. The statue in the Netherlands was brought to researchers by a private buyer for restoration. The mummy was found in a sitting position in a cloth covered in Chinese inscriptions that revealed that the monk's name is Lu Quan. The mummy was probably practicing a process called self-mummification, which was to prepare one's soul for life after death. The statue is now in the National Museum of Natural History in Budapest.
On Tuesday, suicide bombers targeted a bus station in a tiny city in Nigeria, killing 10 people and injuring several. 2 men set off the explosives that they were concealing underneath their clothes as soon as they got off the bus. Only hours before, a single bomber blew up another bus station in Potsdam. In this explosion, a man detonated an explosive as he boarded the bus, killing all 12 passengers. Officials have not pinned down the culprit behind either bombings, however. However, many suspect the Islamic terrorist movement Boko Haram may have something to do with them. Lastly, let's check in with James for this week's weather.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at your weather for the rest of the week. It's going to be quite a roller coaster. Cold, warm, cold, and then warming up again through Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. A little bit of a chance for rain tomorrow and Thursday, 70 and 90%. I want to make sure you take your rain jacket. It's going to be very warm on Wednesday, a high of a glorious 75 degrees. Boy, I love the South. Right now, it is a balmy 60 degrees outside, few clouds, winds out of the northeast at 4 miles per hour, and humidity of 41% makes for a very pleasant day. Taking a look at your radar, a few of these storms are going to be moving into our area a little later this evening and tomorrow morning. And now there is a Mexican magician. He tells everybody, I'm going to disappear on the count of 3. So he goes uno, dos, and disappears without a trace. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, James. That's all for tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Be sure to like our Tigervision Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next week on the Monday Night Roar.